Greetings, programs. Once more into the breach, dear friends. So we're going with session 13. I can't believe it's session 13 already, and that doesn't even include all the ones that we haven't recorded. And the reason I record this is so that I have to show up and actually do the work, because I hate showing up and doing the actual work, because it takes a lot of climbing over your own ego to get to the point where you can record an audiobook. That's something you wrote. So there's a lot of oh crap that goes along with this, that I get over it by putting myself out there. Doesn't matter what your hair looks like. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. All that matters is Pepper is here, and she's here for my emotional support. So we're digging into the next chapter of Don't Die, Dave, the lit RPG sensation that will be coming out actually on Royal Road Tuesday. So if you want to read this, you can start reading it on Royal Road starting on Tuesday. I can't believe we're actually here. And I have to record the audio book because I want reviewers to have an audio book to review before the book goes live. So get it done quickly, get it out so everybody can take a look at it and make a judgment. Dungeon Crawler Carl, in part, became successful because of the quality and ridiculousness of the audio book. We're very much trying to mimic that here. In no way is this a retelling or reimagining of Dungeon Crawler Carl, but the attitude and the insanity that was baked into that cake, I found very appealing, especially as something refreshing between heavy, long, epic fantasy reads. So that's part of the appeal. And that's part of what I'm doing too, is because the Keymark books take a long time. I will not rush them. Amazon needs me to produce faster. So in order to do that, I did something that would take less time. But boy, I got to tell you, the jokes have to be right. You can't skid by with half-assed jokes. So that took a little longer than I thought, revising on the jokes, making sure that if you got a dud in there, you got to kill it. Because if you have a dud joke in there, it'll ruin reader trust for at least 3 chapters, if not permanently. So kill your darlings. That's the job, right? I wanted to do to die today at a minute or two to two. A thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. And the dragon will come when he hears the drum, a rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tum at a minute or two to do today at a minute or two to do. Hello, Chloe. How are you today? How are you today? How are you today? Mindless pablum, white people passing in the hallways. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? You ever get to see that point where you get to the reflexive nature of how are you when you ask somebody, how are you, when you've already asked them, how are you? How are you, Chloe? How are you, Chloe? Tell me about yourself. Tell me what you're going through right now. Let me hear all about it. I'll check it out in the comments when I get back. Right now, we're going to record Don't Die, Dave. Coming right up. Chapter 25, Save Our Ship. Save our ship. The SOS is coming from Godzilla. I know how that sounds, trust me. I know how that sounds, trust me. And it's not the first time I wonder if the lack of sleep is making me crazy. Who knows what drugs they're pumping into my body back in that Tallahassee hospital basement. I shake my head to clear it. Nope, still there. Nope, still there. The gigantic kaiju monster floats in space, its face frozen in a dead... The gigantic kaiju monster floats in space, its face frozen in a deadly snarl. Its mouth bears fangs the size of semi-trucks. Giant spines cascade down the back of the king of all monsters, all the way down to its long and brutal tail. Oh, scary! Pepper squints. Is he wearing sunglasses? She's right. A pair of red Ray-Bans the size of a fighter jet is strapped on the monster's face. A pair of red Ray-Bans the size of a fighter jet are strapped to the monster's face. As I steer Bodie McBoatface cautiously toward the kaiju, I realize this is no Godzilla. The shapes of the spines are different. The tail is too thin and the feet are wrong. It's some kind of knockoff. Just different enough from the real thing to avoid trademark infringement. The monster is gigantic, but looks like a cheap toy made in some back alley plastics company. The monster is gigantic, but looks like a cheap toy some back alley plastics company would manufacture to sell on the sly in Tijuana gift shops. As I cruise closer, I realize it's not made of plastic. As I cruise closer, I realize it's not made of plastic and it's not a toy. It's an inflatable. You know those T-Rex Halloween outfits, the ones that look stupid when they run because they're basically a human-sized balloon? You have to know them. You have to know them. Even I've seen those videos. It's one of those. Polyester inflatable costume, 300 feet tall. Absolutely not Godzilla! Level 11, counterfeit kaiju. Legally distinct from any other kaiju who might vaguely resemble this entirely unique, not at all derivative gargantuoid. ANG can grow to a maximum of 450 feet. Current size 71%. Weaknesses: seams, and lawyers. Oh, he's so plasticky. Why is he not saying hello? She waves out of the Jetsons bubble. Hello, Mr. Lizard Man, hello. I circle the kaiju, waiting for it to move or breathe atomic fire or blow up. But it just sits there, hanging in space as it drifts past the backdrop of a blue spiral galaxy. Curious, I lean against the tub and scratch my beard. That thing is hollow. It is? Yeah. I shift the joystick forward, steering closer. And the SOS is coming from inside. We need a way to get in there. As we get closer, the polyester hide emits a static discharge that strikes my hull. It doesn't hurt Bodie McBoatface or cause us to lose pressure, but I back off a bit. I explore the kaiju's rump, figuring the entrance to an inflatable costume would be down there, but find nothing. No backdoor visitors for Notzilla. I cruise the flank looking for a zipper, but there's nothing but a polyurethane seam. Nothing at the neck either. That leaves the head. I angle around the face, creep past its snout, and finally peek into the kaiju's mouth. There's an aperture at the back of the There's an aperture at the back where his uvula should be. That's it. We can't go in there. Pepper grabs my arm. Pepper grabs my arm. He'll chew us up. He'll chew us up. He's probably right. The whole setup. She's probably right. This whole setup has to be a trap. But whatever this thing is, it's better than being. But whatever this thing is, it's better than being stuck in a space bathtub. The SOS signal is coming from inside Cabbage Patch. If we're going to find out what it is, we need to go down its throat. She grips my arm tighter. I don't think I can do it. Just tell yourself you can, and you can. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether she can or not. We're going. I lever forward and head between the kaiju's enormous fangs. As we move deeper into its mouth, a stripe headlight illuminates the front bend of the tub. From here, it looks like we're being eaten. Pepper squeezes her eyes shut. Oh, you can do it, Self. I reach the aperture, a yellow plastic disc with several slits that meet at the center like a starburst. I can't help but be reminded of a butthole. When you first get colon cancer, you're treated to a lot of pictures of your own ass. When you first get colon cancer, you get treated to a lot of pictures of your own ass. Oh, okay, down the hatch. I accelerate to ramming speed and drive the tub into the aperture. Pepper shrieks. There's a weird rubbery sound as the aperture slides against Bodie McBoatface's glass, and I get the sensation of being swallowed as we pass through the kaiju's throat. Airplane. Can't record with an airplane. Oh, look. Hi, how are you? Cameron Lane. Cameron has come here to just say his own name. Cam. I'm a cat 249. Hi, I am a cat 249. Try more than 2 letters. Like Wyatt Ronald H2G. Hi. Come on, Wyatt. You can do better than that. Guaranteed you there's now a burst of profanity that lights. So recording audio for an audiobook is a complicated thing. You need to mask the microphone and make sure that no additional stupid sounds are going to get across to it. I am currently surrounded on 3 sides of concrete. No sounds are getting in here except for the sounds that are in my house. I have to turn off my HVAC unit and let the house get cold while I'm doing this because it can't have the blowers going. My poor family is relegated to the upstairs and can't walk directly overhead. And anytime there's an airplane, I have to shut it down for a second. It's my real name, really. Wyatt Ronald. Do you to make fun of my name? No, Wyatt, I do not to make fun of your name. I do to make fun of your syntax. But thanks for joining. I hope you enjoy it. And Wyatt, I think you have a lovely name. More people should be named Wyatt. In fact, more people should be named Wyatt Ronald. That's a pretty nice mix. All right, airplane is gone. Airplane is gone. Firing it back up. Once through, we emerge into the vast expanse of Notzilla's insides. Imagine being inside a clawfoot bathtub as it descends through the roof of the Dallas Cowboys stadium. That gives you an idea of how it feels. Uniquely weird. Notzilla is empty, save for a few metal supports that make up a basic internal skeleton for the arms, legs, and tail. Way down at the bottom of the inflatable, I can see a large machine. A set of internal blowers that should keep the balloon inflated. A set of internal blowers that should keep the balloon inflated, but it looks like they're dead. The fans aren't spinning, and I realize we may need to get out of here in a hurry if this thing's The fans aren't spinning, and I realize we may need to get the fans aren't spinning, and the fans aren't spinning, and I realize we may need to get out of here in a hurry if this thing collapses. As I examine the blowers, my HUD flashes. ANG internal pressure 70.5% and falling. Whoa! Pepper gazes at the expanse of polyester. His tummy is so big. I see the interior of the inflatable is filled with dog-sized bug robots. They seem to be doing repairs on Notzilla, but they're not keeping up. One of them scuttles down close to me, and I see my HUD flash. Season 2 hardware activated. Make friend EXE? Yes, no. It's the same alert. It's the same alert I got when I abandoned the little Jimmy empathy module. I'm almost certain this is the thing that turned Pepper into whatever she is. I'm already being guilted into a rescue mission. The last thing I need is another Pepper. I hit no, and the alert disappears. There. I point at the center of the inflatable monster, right where its heart should be. Suspended by a web of wires is something that looks like a log cabin. That's where the SOS is coming from. Oh, poor Mr. Lizard! Let's go save him! I cruise toward the log cabin to get a better look. I realize it's actually a Season 1 pirate shanty, one of the scraggy little hovels I saw in Trader's Point. Like Boaty McBoatface, it has evolved. To meet its new environment and has a metal airlock for a front door. For a moment, I can't figure out how to connect without climbing outside. Then I remember I'm in space. I turn the bathtub vertical, like Boba Fett's Slave One ship, and approach the airlock that way. The Jetson's glass presses against the airlock, and I hear a pneumatic hiss as they make a seal. Arcade physics enabled. Because fun is greater than science. Docking complete. Internal pressure nominal. Seal integrity 99%. Boaty McBoatface's glass dome slides back, and the airlock handle is right in front of me. I spin open the hatch and feel a smile creep over my teeth. Okay, let's go be heroes. I open the door. Blaster fire explodes everywhere. Sparks fly as energy bolts ricochet from the doorframe. I duck out of the way as lasers sizzle past me and hit the porcelain of the tub. The barrage of fire rains into my ship, threatening to rip it to pieces. This is what comes from trying to be a hero. As the gunfire continues, I realize I can't stay here. The only way out is through. Pep! Thought bubble! I watch a blue shimmer appear around her like a force field. I throw up my shell shock shield and charge through the door. Blaster fire smashes into the Ulith, but the magic egg remains unbreakable. It's pitch black inside the cabin, and I can't see a thing except for it's pitch black inside the cabin, and I can't see a thing except for brief flashes from the blaster. I throw myself out of the line of fire toward the nearest cover, which turns out to be one of those plastic race car beds. 35, 34, 35, 34, 33. I count down, keeping track of how much longer Pepper's thought bubble force field will last. Glancing over the side of the bed, I see a flash of a huge armored barbarian that looks like two Arnold Schwarzeneggers combined with a Scandinavian ogre, easily 8 feet tall. He's got two of the biggest guns I've ever seen, and he hasn't stopped firing yet. As blaster fire shreds the race car bed, I realize we're in trouble. Pepper can't activate goldfish mode while her shield bubble is up. Pepper can't activate goldfish mode while her thought bubble is up. I need to draw fire and give her room to do her thing. 27, 26, 25. My Air Jordans kick in and I sprint toward the next bit of cover, a metal couch covered in stickers. The space ogre sees me move and turns his guns on me. I don't get enough steps to activate my parkour pilgrim, but I'm fast enough to get cover before he sights me in. Blaster fire and couch fluff fly into the air around me. Pepper pops up from cover and nails him. Goldfish mode negated. Failed versus Juggernaut Helm. Psi immune. Failed versus Juggernaut Helm. Psi immune. Great. Her psionic powers are useless on him. 15, 14, 13. We're out of time. It's up to me. While the ogre blasts at Pep, I spring from the couch and hurl my kaboomerang at his head. It smacks him in the face and explodes. Enraged, the ogre snatches the fire pan and hurls it behind him. I go with it. The tether at my wrist yanks me into the air, and I land at the ogre's feet in a heap. A heavy foot comes down on my back. I feel bones crack as my health drops below 40 points. Grinning yellow tusks, the ogre grabs me by the shirt and yanks me into the air. I struggle in his fist as his ugly face, still smoking from the explosion, leers at me. Bells. Tell Cavity's right. I'm not even gonna make it one day in the season. I'm not even gonna make it one day. I'm not even gonna make it one day into season 2. I'm not even gonna make it one day into season 2. The ogre growls and wipes the soot away from his eyes, ready to bite my head off. Until his expression suddenly changes. Oh. He smiles a snaggletooth mouth. Hi. Okay, so for the ogre / Rex, there was an effect that we did for Memphis early on, and I cut back on the effect to make it feel more natural. I would say use that same effect here, just make the voice really low without bothering to make it more natural. If he sounds like kind of a rah, 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 deep voice video game altered guy, that's fine. We'll see. Remind me to do a review after this chapter when you're done editing it. Just give me a ping. Not sure what to do. I just stare at him, mute. What the? Hi. Hi. Pepper chirps. You just said hi. You just said hi. 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 The ogre's voice is deeper than a bass guitar, but he sounds happy. I thought you were bad guys. He spreads his arms in a big apologetic gesture while I hang from his fist. Sorry. Pepper nods. Could you let my friend go? Could you let my friend go? The ogre realizes he's still holding me. Oh, yeah, sure. He sets me gently on the ground and pats me on the head like I'm a puppy. Sorry, mister. He steps out of the shadows, and I see I think we do standard neuter computer voice for character intros, I think. Tankpocalypse Rex. Level 4, living legend. Race, Broger. Race, Broger. Class, Jim Reaper. I realize there's a living legend logo over his head. Holy crap. This guy's one of us. Pepper glances at me and whispers. Pepper glances at me and whispers. Okay, every once in a while, you run into something completely weird. I don't know why I wrote this line. Let's just try he's a good guy, right? Wow. Okay, don't run into those very often. But like periodically you get Wyatt. It is a rare name. Every once in a while you get one of those things where it's like, I have no idea where that came from. 0. Burr, 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 burr. Pepper glances at me and whispers. He's a good guy, right? What are you supposed to be? The ogre looks down at me curiously as if we weren't in a gunfight 5 seconds ago. What's DDD mean? I eye him warily. His biceps are bigger than bowling balls. Don't destroy Dave. Don't destroy Dave. He smiles as his deep voice rattles my bones. I'm Tankpocalypse Rex. And I'm Pepper. And I'm Pepper. The penguin chirps. We're here to save you. We're here to save you. Hey, thanks, lady. He hits a switch and emergency lights flicker on. Can you fix my boat? The entire pirate cabin has been turned into some kind of command deck. At its center, among the bed, the couch, and a bunch of pizza boxes, is a 20-foot wide PlayStation-style controller. Looking at the control panels, I see the outline of Notzilla and realize there are controls for its arms, its legs, its tail, every part of the kaiju. And the whole thing is dead. Some boat. Yeah, isn't it great? Yeah, isn't it great? Rex grins through his tusks. It was just an inflatable robot toy when we found it. Like Baymax. Like Baymax. Big Hero 6. Did you see that movie? It's great. Anyway, the elite guys didn't want it and said I could have it. Anyway, the elite guys didn't want it and they said I could have it. And then I got a bunch of embiggen potions. Have you gotten any of those? They make things bigger. So I just kept making it bigger and bigger until I could get the remote inside and steer it from here. It made a pretty good boat. It floats. It made a pretty good boat. It floats super great. Cool, right? It made a pretty good boat. It floats super great. Cool, right? I have to laugh at his enthusiasm. If he's dying of cancer or on an iron lung, he's pretty chipper about it. I'm from Tallahassee. How about you? Milliken, do you guys not have any weapons? What was that thing you threw at me? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to take that. I snap my kaboomerang back into my loadout. What are you in the hospital for? He looks at me and blinks. What hospital? Oh, that's where we are? Rex doesn't seem to understand. Did they not tell you that? Did they not tell you that? They who? I just woke up in the game. Rex smiles. It's so much fun, right? Okay. Either Human Asset is just plugging in people off the street, or the big guy here was in some kind of traumatic event that put him in a coma or something. I guess the tutorial doesn't mention Human Asset, or that they're using us for profit. I wonder how many more of us like. I wonder how many more of us are like. I wonder how many more of us are like I wonder how many more of us are like Tankpocalypse Rex. Living legends with no idea they're plugged into a breathing tube. I'm not gonna be the one to tell him. Yeah, it's awesome. So you can fix it, right? I'm not terrible with electronics. I'm not terrible with electronics. Gen X had to fix our own gadgets. And at the end of the day, this whole kaiju ship is just a big remote controlled car. It's a simple machine any 10-year-old could operate. But no matter how many buttons I hit, the display screen stays dark. Notzilla is dead as a doornail. There's nothing I can do. The battery is completely shot. You need a new one. I watch the barbarian's face fall and feel half guilty for not being able to help. I watch the barbarian's face fall and feel half guilty for not being able to help. It's worse than he thinks. Without power, it's worse than he thinks. Without power, I'm guessing the Looney Tunes physics of this balloon won't hold. If the kaiju blowers don't turn on soon, he'll run out of air. If the kaiju blowers don't turn on soon, he'll run out of air. Sorry. Can we go get one? A battery? Sure, chirps Pepper. We can get you one. I turn to her and frown. We can? Yeah. I stare at her, angry and dumbfounded. Where? Where? I don't know. Pepper's smile sparkles. But you've just got to believe. You can do it, self. Christ Jesus, save me. That's fire! That's fire! Rex pumps his fist in the air. Rex pumps his fist. All right! Tight, tight, tight! All right! Tight, tight, tight! It's time to put a stop to this circus. Pepper means well, but she's a 1-year-old and has no idea what she's promising. On the other hand, Rex is a bona fide killer space barbarian, and our little team of 2 can use all the firepower we can get. While I'm busy thinking, I lose my chance to cast a vote. While I'm busy thinking, I lose my chance to get a vote. Before we get your battery, Pepper holds Rex's ankle. There's someone else we need to save. An SOS person just like you. Sure, totes. I'll go with you, Pepper. He smiles tusks. You're so cute. Thank. Thank you. Thank you. She beams as I wonder how I managed to become the third wheel in this conversation. My HUD flashes red. Party composition change flagged. Ooh. Pepper squeaks. Is flagged good? Only if you like being watched. Five minutes later, I'm jammed inside a bathtub with a penguin and a barbarian the size of the Incredible Hulk. The three of us are packed in like sardines. I can barely breathe or operate the controls with my face pressed up against the glass. Rex, who is apparently strong enough to survive in space for longer than any human could, has tied Notzilla to one of Bodie McBoatface's clawfoot legs. I send up the solar sail and set course for the ping on my map, dragging a giant inflatable kaiju behind me. Dragging a giant inflatable kaiju behind me in space like it's a balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. This is turning into the stupidest rescue mission ever. This is turning into the stupidest rescue mission ever. All right, that gets us to the end of the chapter. Take a break. Take a break. And then we save it. We always save as individual projects because this is how they go to Audible. Every chapter you listen to on Audible is its own file, which keeps you from getting into goofy, crazy territory and having everybody jammed up on top of each other. Big files, big problems. Small files, small problems. Whew. Time out. Man, oh man. Okay. Normally, I would be getting ready to watch the NFL championships right about now, but my buddy had surgery on Friday and he is not ready to go. So my son is having over Buddy, and we're going to watch the game together with him. I do like NFL football. However, Indiana made the championships. Indiana University football is the worst football on the planet. So the fact that they made the national championships, top two teams, is astounding. Everybody in Indiana is going absolutely nuts. Wow, that's so hot. So I think I'm going to jump off and see what is up with my kid and his buddy and make sure I'm not missing anything. Kabing. All right. Hugs and kisses, whatever creative endeavor you're doing, just put in the work. Keep on going.